Welcome everyone, Madman bringing another RSL video. Today is Chimera Day. For me, for you, it will be whenever you get to view this. But real quick, let's go look. So there's several champions, but we're going to start off with the main ones here first. So Androck, 9-piece protection. He does have the journal. I gave him some masteries there because he does have 100% crit rate. Real quick here. Increased defense. He doesn't put out a whole lot of damage, so that book is more valuable to me elsewhere. But A2 is important, increasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn, also healing them by 4% for each buff that had its duration increased, so that helps keep everyone alive. A3, the increased resistance and strength in is nice, as well as the single continuous heal, potentially an additional continuous heal if they're less than 50% HP. Not going to be too often, but not a big deal there. And then his passive increases the resistance by 10, but also critical hits fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. So that's why it's nice to have him with some crit rate, but not a whole lot of crit damage, so that he or Ramontu, who you'll see, get attacked and not Sienna. He's 6-star blessed. I was lucky to pull that a long time ago before I ever got the champion. And I had him in cruelty, but I went to brimstone because it's 300 or 350k each time it goes off on the boss, and it does actually add up to a good, I don't know, 10 to 15 million extra damage. Okay, so that's Androck. Let's just go a little quicker here. Of course, Marius, he's 6-star as well. Very fortunate to pull his 6-star, got him in Crushing Rend, put him in Cat's Gaze, and you can see the gems here. I might want to swap this out because this does 3% extra more damage, but this ignores 3% of the defense, so I'm not sure which one is actually better for him or not. And then just turn meter boost because, well, that's what we got. 9-piece Slayer, he's not as fast as I would like, but he's tuned elsewhere, so that's why he's at 248, but I do have him up over 400% crit damage. So that's who we're using. I have Nuke number 1, lethal with crit damage set 247, so 1 speed slower than Marius. Again, they're tuned together for Sand Devil and Shogun. 100% crit rate, only 378% crit damage, but he's a little easier to get capped out on the max HP, and pretty good accuracy, pretty good defense there. He is also in a Cat's Gaze. As you can see, he's got 2 of these, so of course he's fully booked. The star of the show is Sienna. She's in the Journal of Necrotos, and she is up to level 9, so we're getting up to 21% boosted turn meter effects, which changes her 20% to about 24.2, 24.8 or whatever. I don't know if this gemstone only affects her, or because of her effects it affects everybody. I don't know, maybe I can check with Saf and see out. I had a 4-star for her when I pulled her, and then a 5-star show up for the shop, and I had enough stuff, so I went and grabbed her 5-star Intimidating Presence, what I decided to put on her, just to give that little bit of aura, but I'm not sure how much really helpful that is, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But she's in protection. Currently, she's only 327. I gave her enough crit damage, so she's not the target. A fair amount of resistance. Androck gives you an increase in resistance, so that definitely pushes over the 555 mark there. Fully booked. Real quick, we just came down here to timely intervention. That way she can get more turns quickly if needs be. Okay, so that was that 4, and then who else? Oh yeah, Ramontu. He's only 3-star. There's his masteries real quick. We just want him to land his stuff. He can pump out some damage, so it may not hurt to put him in some crit rate. I went with Cruelty. I know it's not 6-star, and that would be great if it was, but it's not quite yet. But he fairly quickly can get up to this 10%. Why? Because he's hitting 4 times with his A2. We're not using his A3, or almost never not using it. And then his A1, so 2 cycles, boom, he's hit that 10% cap on the boss. And of course, 1 cycle if we ever got it to 6-star. No blessing on or relic on him. I don't know which ones would really help. I mean, maybe squeeze a little more damage, but I went with impulse and reflex on him. He's not crazy wicked fast, but I want him to get around to the A2, but honestly I don't think it really matters that much. But 283, not much crit damage, so it'll be a target, and he does have more enough accuracy to land and at least reasonably enough HP and defense to survive. So that's the main team. Then we will actually test out with Pardon, 9-piece. He doesn't have the relic because Androck does, but we'll switch it over. His big thing is his passive. When a continuous heal fills the turn meters by 10% versus the 5% from Sienna. And then he places or removes block buffs and heal reductions, and places 2 continuous heals, so that helps out. And a block debuffs, plus he has a chance of removing yet another random debuff. So that can kind of help when they want to stun you or provoke you or whatever. And then continuous heals, so he can give a 20% or potentially a 30% heal, so keeping you alive. And again, he can fill his turn meter, so he can move a little bit faster there. He's a 9P protection. He's only at 297. Got really good though for healing there on the HP, and pretty much enough resistance to resist most of the time. Then lastly, what I want to test out but not ready to go is actually Lady of Areth. And why? Well, let's see. Continuous heal, going to be a reasonable amount that they're below 85%, but not crazy amounts below, so that can definitely help speed things up. She can do a single target cleanse, and she can do a critical heal that will actually add surplus heal as well, and potentially add block damage, and a turn meter fill by 50%. Let's see, if they're fully healed. So I think she's going to be sleeper. But hold on, there's more. Strengthen and a continuous heal, so that helps with Sienna, but also decreases their skill cooldowns by 1 turn. That is actually, I think, going to be huge with Marius, Newt, Sienna for sure. Not so much really Ramontu. Then she's got a chance of placing a shield as well, so that might help for one of the trials, but the damn boss just doesn't seem to hit hard enough, amazingly, on the person with the shield. So might want to actually set up to where Ramontu has the least amount of HP, because the boss, the Ram boss, does like to hit the hell out of him. Anyway, so I think she might be sleeper there, and I would probably go with Brimstone again on her. No relic, but like I said, I'm not done with her masteries. I haven't booked her out or anything. So those are the 5 champions we're going to use, and the 2 alternates that we would swap out in Androck's place that we're going to test here. But we're taking a lot longer than I wanted to, so let's just go over here. We're going to go to Chimera. We're going to go to Nightmare. We're not going to start on auto. I run it on manual just to get maximum benefit out, because it can go sideways against the stupid ram form real quick. But with Sienna, she throws up the heal, and see what turn meter boost ×2. That's from the start of his turn. We're going to throw some more continuous heals and the increased resistance on there. Now, the upside or downside is totally RNG whether this gets protected or not. As you can see here, we're going to apply the 4 buffs there, so that we're already 4% of ignored defense or decreased defense on the boss already right off the bat. Now, he doesn't have increased defense, so we're going to use A3 to increase it on everybody, and then we're going to hit, and we're hitting for, we already hit 1.6, which is about the max that I'm getting. So that doesn't always work out that way, but there you go. All 3 did not weak hit from Newt, because remember, this is magic, he's spirit. So there you go there. Now the big thing here is not only protected buffs, but he does that critical hit. That's why I gave him crit rate, so he can get the extra turn meter from all the increase or the continuous heals, but also from critting himself. We don't use Ramontu's A3 except for the rare occasion on the Viper form where we don't get block buffs out and we need to strip whatever he stole from us. The one thing I want to point out, and I don't know if it will come into play here, so we're going to get a lot of turns before the boss goes there. And we're just going to keep repeating this cycle. So we're coming around, if this works out the way I think. So his skills are off of cooldown now. And so he's got 1 turn of increased defense. Now, if this wasn't ready, this does increase defense. So, but we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to do this. And I don't know if Sienna or Marius. So Marius got a turn. Now, he's got increased defense. So I don't want to use this yet. I want to go ahead. Let's just do maximum damage. And now that turn with granting an extra turn, I can get around to that A2 doing the damage more often. So this is the one reason, at least with Androck, that I don't go full auto right now. Otherwise, you know, you want to slow down for the ram form, but this is all RNG heavy. What is left up to extend? What's protected? What's not? Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's this turn. So see, we're going to get around here. We got that, and then we get to go in this, but this one will be ready next turn where it would not have been for another 2. So the upside of Androck, but he does not cleanse off debuffs. So if some of this gets stripped and he gets provoked or whatever here, which I don't know if it's this coming turn or turn 3. Yeah, it's turn 3. But as you can see, I didn't pay attention to the number there. But the Brimstone did proc there. Androck, are you back around? So increased defense. Boom, I get to do that again. Early, we've gotten up to 1.6 here. Not placing Brimstone yet, but we will probably actually get around to Androck again before the boss actually goes. Because you see, turn meter boost times 4. Turn meter boost again times 4. Times 3 that time. Yep, we're getting around to Androck and hit. Getting around this stuff so quick that a lot of times you're not using that A1 on Androck. Anyway, that was the point I was trying to prove. So I will continue mainlands and we'll see where we end up at the end. Again, though, it is very RNG heavy. How much of this gets protected? How much there is to be able to get extended? So now we can increase defense. We get that extra turn and boom, we're back around to that nuking skill. And damn, we were hitting some good. 1.6, 1.5, 1.6, I want to say 1.675 is the most I've ever seen out of him. So, but like there, see, we got provoked, but it's not a cleanse, it's increased resistance from Androck, so we may or may not resist it. Not a big deal with him, because we still have all that up. But we just keep repeating that cycle over and over. At best, 6, maybe 7 trials we can get out of this. So there you go. But like I said, I'll keep going through and we will see you at the end now that you've kind of seen the setup. Oh, real quick, I want to mention before. I went through Saf's turn meter tick rate spreadsheet, playing around, and I want to say that about 335, it really depends on, you know, your soul that you picked, your blessing from your soul that you picked, and, you know, your relic and everything else. But about 335 speed for Sienna is kind of like where you're getting max benefit, unless you jump up to like, I want to say like 440 before you really start getting too many extra turns, you know, even with all the turn meter manipulation and stuff going on. And then I want to say for like the damage dealers, it was like 260, so I'm a little below ideally for Newt and Marius there. But as long as you have everyone over 260 and then at least Sienna, it doesn't matter, you know, if Sienna is, say, 340, and that would be, I would say, a safe speed to hit. get maximum benefit out, then, you know, him being 380 doesn't benefit any more than him being 300. So, you know, it might get his turns around. You might squeeze 1 or 2 extra turns out through the entirety of the battle. See, so we got up to 1,000,000 there on at least 1 hit, especially considering he was negative affinity and we hit all 3. But anyway, so that's their speed things. Increased defense is protected there, so we're just going to do, again, the A2 without the A3 on that. And that way that A3 is saved for another turn here. But we're up to 40 something, so not as great. Might as well wait till we flip. But maybe I was thinking of Nightmare instead of Ultra Nightmare there, because we got up as high as 47 million before the boss took or changed forms. But and you see right there, I mean, we're a third of what we need to 1 key in the first 5 turns, and we're not even done with the first 5 turns, so we'll see where we get to here. Boom. You can see, wow. Did he get a turn meter boost at 8? We didn't hit as hard as we wanted to, but man, yeah, we're almost up to 47 million here, which I expect is pretty much going to be around the same as Nightmare, just because these are max HP champions there. And so really it depends on how much weak hitting Newt does, and then how many skills get protected or don't when he turns. So like he's going to take him out, and if he had the shield, but like if you look, I don't even know if it does anything. So we don't have fear, true fear. The one downside is he should place a true fear, but he doesn't always do that. I want to say this one we can do, but these two we just can't. But we will see you at the end there, and we'll also see how many trials. Are we under increased accuracy on Newt real quick here? We are under increased accuracy. So let's go ahead and we'll at least get the, it should have counted as 2. It did. All right. Got reflected back on us, but that's fine, because then we can hit here. And, okay. I'm going to put increased accuracy just because Ramontu's going to do his thing here. He's going to go down, but why not just do a little extra damage here? 1 hit, boom, takes himself out, but we gained another 1.2 million. Okay, we got Brimstone, so we should be up to 3. We're up to 3. Newt might take himself out. Nope, he did not. She goes, come on, get your turn in there while you're under increased accuracy. Oh, I don't have it available. And this is totally useless. That kind of sucks. But it depends on whether he strips us of that. Okay, we didn't get stunned. The D debuffs don't matter too much. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do this. I ended up talking way longer around this than I wanted to, but we should complete the trial. What? Oh, how? What? I'm not sure what debuff we're missing. Got the 4. That's 5. And we had the 2 from him, so what in the hell? That's odd. I did the A3 there, but it didn't do nothing. Okay, he's about to take a turn. No point in picking up Marius just yet. Okay, we're at 6 here. What are the odds? We still didn't get 7. We should have got the 7. We should have got the 7. Now, chances are probably pretty good that they kill each other. Yep, Nuke killed himself. Marius almost did. Increase accuracy. Still didn't get that. What in the world? Oh, okay. Shit, I don't have increased accuracy up for Marius. I need him to survive. I need him to survive. Okay, don't have increased accuracy on Androck just yet, and that's not available. Please don't be at the point where you're about to take another turn. I need to get to Marius again real quick. And, damn it. I'm running out of, okay. Increase accuracy. Might as well nuke ourselves down now again. Boom. 1.6. But here's what the one time Androck will come in handy here. Okay, he's under increased accuracy, so what we actually do here is we switch forms, and I think it's A2. A2 places a decreased resistance. Boom, that should be there. One trial done on the RAM. Let's see. Weaken, increase crit rate, so pretty much that is the one and only we're getting out of the RAM. This is probably going to hurt, because Marius almost takes himself out. Newt keeps taking himself out. Deals pure damage. And sadly, he killed himself again. Can we keep them upright until we can get him transformed again? And, oof, that was cutting that thing close down, and he went down. Damn it. So, I messed that up. I don't think it's too terrible until, oh no, he changes forms like that. But other than that, it's not the biggest mistake in the world, but we did get that one trial done. Let's boost. Are we? Yes, we're back around to that, so we can pick them up. Not too crazy of a letdown there. At least Marius only had his A1. We don't want to use his A3 just yet because we don't have decreased defense and weaken. Now let's pump that out. Let's, luckily we get a hit so we can get the automatic placed brimstone, and no increased defense, so we got to do that first and get back around to this. Alright, so you see the one trial on the RAM that we can actually do, but the downsides, I was like, I know I could do that, I just couldn't remember what was missing, but because that's like the only time you switch to Androck's alternate form. But it was supposed to be set up so that with him landing the brimstone, he doesn't have to switch forms whatsoever. Anyhow, we will see you at the end. It's going to take a little while for me. Real quick, as you can see, turn count 17. This is Ultra Nightmare, and we are already at 1 key. So this team can definitely pump out the damage, and we are up to 4 trials here. Slim to none chance that we meet this. Slim to none chance that we meet this. Might be able to with Lady of the Wrath be able to meet that. I don't know that we're going to get enough out hits and or counterattacks from Newt to actually get this, so toss up. This one is off the blocks anyway. But there we are there. Already 1 key, 17 turns in. Alright, so there we go. We did manage to make the full 65 turns. A little bad luck there. Well, bad RNG. Second go round of the Serpent. So I dare say we lost 10 to 25 million more that we could have put on there if it hadn't been for that. But, you know, RNG is a big part of this game, so it is what it is. We did manage to complete 6 trials there. Newt didn't quite have the luck as I did on my Nightmare run, but and Marius a little shy, a little bit unlucky with Androck's brimstone there, but otherwise typical stuff there. Might have to try and rebuild Ramontu there to do at least a little bit of damage or whatever. But 452.8 million is nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. 6.44 billion total clash points. So almost with this one key alone, we hit that 8 billion mark. Trust me, I did about 5 billion just from the nightmare. So we'll easily get to that 8 billion total and get all those rewards. But we are not keeping this, so we'll be back with our next test go round here in a minute. So let's move on here, and real quick I will show you Androck no longer has the relic, and it has been transferred over to Pardon. Now I have changed his blessing from cruelty, so we're going to miss out there on some damage. I'm going to say, let's see, maybe a 15 mil difference by having that 6-star Brimstone on Androck, but we will see where we end up with here. So we're going to pull Androck out, yes, because we're not actually doing full auto. So real quick, where is he? My Mr. 1-star. Am I blind? There he is, right there in the middle of my face. Okay, so we're gonna again Ramontu, Sienna, Marius, Newt, and Pardon now. So we will see you at the finish line, and we'll see how many trials we are able to get done as well. So real quick, we just turned onto count turn 6, and we're at 40 and a half, and I want to say we were at somewhere between, what, 45 and 47 million there. So, you know, is what it is right now. Could be a little RNG. Who knows? I think actually that extending and buffs is really a good thing. So, but we'll go through. We'll see how many trials we can complete this way. I think it's going to be probably more like 4, but we'll see. And again, we'll see how we finish up. So what just happened? Well, I don't know, case of stupid design in the game, I guess. But he just said, oh, smack our freaking reviver. I don't know why, the 2 guys with the lower crit damage didn't get targeted. Wasn't like she was way down on HP, so, restart this run. See you at the finish line. Alright, so didn't quite hit the 400 million mark. If you saw the very end, the last little bit of the main Chimera knocked out Sienna and Marius. So, I don't know, I would say at least probably 10, maybe 15 million got wiped off of there because of that, but that's RNG too, sadly. So, you can see Marius did about 50 million less-ish, 55, somewhere in there. And of course, Pardon's not doing near as much damage as Androck was. Newt, I don't exactly remember. Pretty close to the same, but might be a little bit less. I think he did like 140 million. So there you go. That's with Pardon. Of course, we don't have Brimstone here, and we only finished 4 trials. So let's move on. Okay, so now next on the list is Lady Areth. So we slapped on some gear, not the greatest, but it is 9-piece protection gear there. We got her up to almost 69,000 HP. A little low there on the defense for what I'd like, but we got her to 268 speed, not super great. 416 resistance, probably really not going to be enough, but I didn't want to go swapping crazy amounts of gear. Since this is just more kind of a test, we did pull the blessing off of Pardon and put it onto her, or should I say the relic. Sadly, okay, we didn't pick a blessing, but sadly, of course, you end up having to fully book her. And real quick for the masteries, pretty similar there. Went with some resistance. Try and cool down the skills there if possible, and counterattack. And of course, again, timely intervention, lore steal, recycle magic, the whole 9 yards. I could have gone here and here, but I decided to go with, hey, let's make her shields a little bit bigger, so that hopefully they last longer should the Chimera ever actually do any kind of damage worth a damn. And then, of course, you get some healing and shield here. So not super high as far as the speeds and all that, but it should be okay. The 268 shouldn't be too crazy of a problem there. Anyway, let's go over in the Chimera and go down here to Ultra Nightmare. Let's see, do I want to just pull him out? I don't know how much I want to set this up. Let's do a setup here, because really I could have done a pardon setup or whatever. The big one with Androck there is, because he does increased defense on his A1, you don't always have to use the A3 on Marius. But so we'll just go ahead and we'll pick Sienna here. Obviously, if Lady Areth does fairly well in here, where's she at? There she is. Then, probably again want to go with Brimstone. Really makes me want to pull my soul stones right now, especially with the event going on, but it's 20% cut off points, and there's no 2 times, so boo hiss, that's piss poor there. A Polarium doing their Deck of Fate stuff. So I'm gonna make this first choice, but I think we're gonna make that the opener, and then I'm gonna say just do not use here. I guess we'll go with first choice here, and of course first and second choice there. Save that. Let's go ahead, like I said, full auto. I will take it off full auto during when we're coming close up to the crossover rounds there. But curious, and I'm almost wondering half if, like, say Lady Areth and Androck taking out Newt might not be too bad of a thing, but I think we'll lose a trial or 2 there. Not that we gained, anything more than 4 trials with O'Pardon in the first place. So, who knows? Wow. Might have to work on that. Anyway, we'll see you at the end and see what happens. Alright, so we didn't quite make the 65 turns, thanks to good old RNG. Lady Areth, not a whole lot of damage there. Of course, you get some Brimstone on and pick that up, plus she's nowhere near quick capped or anything like that, so, but she's not really going to be a damage dealer. Same with Sienna there. But she did out heal Sienna. Man, oh man, did Newt get a lot of healing. But I don't know. If you don't have a pardon, and Slim changes to get Androck in place of a pardon, Lady Areth is actually a very viable source. Now, probably gonna have to wait till after reset. I'm betting today is Tuesday evening, so I'm betting come Thursday it's probably gonna be free gear removal, and then of course you gotta wait till Friday sometime for Chimera to actually reset there, because I don't want to keep changing all the gear and all that and just wasting a bunch of coin for not much reward. But I'm willing to bet if you can get Lady Areth or Sienna or both and 9-piece protection and get them up to that 555 resistance, which ain't easy. Get her some more HP and defense to survive. Maybe a little more speed there. It's kind of on the low end there. I would like her close to 300, but pretty viable there. Now I might give this one more shot, where I actually pull Newt out and probably put Androck in. I do have a third relic that they can steal from Lady Noelle and put on Androck so that all three of them have it, and we'll just see. That does leave Marius as just a only damage dealer, but most of Newt's damage, right, comes from his A3. So if we can get his A2 to come around just as often, not more, we might end up pumping out more damage. One other thing I might want to try as well is take out Ramontu and put in Lydia. The downside is there's no decreased speed that will be going on to the boss, but the reason for that would be to potentially pull a few more trials out. So it's all, testing on that. I don't have access to the test server, and I don't have unlimited time. As you can see, almost an hour running this. It will dramatically be cut down for you. But I won't say that she is a superstar, but she is literally, though, I would say, definitely a solid replacement option. Now, of course, Sienna is just Sienna, but she is definitely a solid replacement option. Potentially, I would almost say any one of the three would work pretty well with Elva as well. Sadly, Elva was only got a single target revive, but she does give you a few other benefits, like you can get that veil. She does have a cleanse, which comes in handy, especially if you don't have a pardon, but hers is a full cleanse, so there are some benefits to Elva, as long as you're not having more than one or two champs go down at a time, which is a little difficult against the Ram form. But there you go. Let's go back actually real quick. I don't know if I'm going to call this the end here or put some more on here, but real quick, you can see Androck is missing the relic here. You've seen all the stats, but we can real quick look through the stats here. So still at 296, lost a little HP because of not having the relic and stuff, and he's got plenty of accuracy there. Marius you've seen him several times in the Slayer, 248, 412 crit damage. You can see the stats there. Newt. Another thing with Newt, I would like to put him in a 6 or 9 piece Merciless, so that he might go up more often. So that might be another one. But again, I want to wait till kind of free regroup. Sienna real quick here. I do want to get her at least like 13 speed more. And then who else did we have? So we had those 4. Of course, Ramontu is a staple here. I think we could change his gear out. I don't know how much it's really helping. The speed is where we want. The accuracy is where we want. But getting around to that A2 is not really a problem. So having it repeat, I don't know. I don't know. I tried Toxic Set, but you start filling up the bar, but you're filling it all with poison, so it's hard to throw the other debuffs on. And then what do we have? We had a pardon here, 9 piece. Again, his total stats, almost 300 there, 100k, a good bit of resistance. So he's the only one that's in the resistance range that you'd like him to be. Lady Areth, this is attack. This is why it's not rolled up here. But she's a 9 piece protection. Definitely the slowest out of all of them. I'm going to say even slower than Ramontu, so good bit of resistance, but doesn't do any good unless a pardon's there to boost her over the limit there. Real quick, again, fully booked. I did swap the relic over to her, and there's the masteries that I went for. So there you can go. You can kind of see the masteries and the stats and stuff. Of course, you'd want to beef her up there. But if I don't present anything further, hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully, again, it was educational and helpful. Have a nice day. Alright, so I did do some bonus material here. As you can see, 4 supports and 1 Marius. 387 million, so pretty solid there. One thing, I do not have the relic on Androck, so we could probably squeeze a little bit more, and if I boost the stats there of Lady Aresh. Ramontu, in this case, might be good, actually, in a toxic set if you're going to run 4 supports like this. But the trials were pitiful. We completed a whopping 2. If one of these were in a toxic set, I could move Angar over and pick up 1 trial more from, I want to say, the Ram form, where you got to put like 6 debuffs out or whatever. So 6 or 7, something like that. But anyway, only maybe picking up 1 more. So this is pretty much about, how much can you just maximize the damage, and, with 5 billion total here, plus what you get from running the Nightmare, can you hit that 8 billion mark each week? And that's pretty much what you're going for, because you just can't complete that many trials anyway. So it is a viable option. I mean, that's not a bad damage output whatsoever, but I know I can get higher. I don't think I recorded anything, but I did manage to pump out like 450 or so million testing it earlier with exactly this, except for I had Newt in there instead of Lady Aresh. So, and I think, let's see, maybe putting, well, you don't have to go as high with the resistance on Sienna there with Androck around, but you definitely do if you're going to be using Opardon in his place. And again, with as much speed going around, I don't think the gear that I have on Ramontu is the most ideal there. But, and I think if I get Newt into a 6 or 9 piece Merciless, and I have 2 Newts, so even though one's a 4-star, that's not making a huge difference, because at least it's getting the extra crit damage there. And with Ramontu, yeah, I'm losing out on about 10% of ignore defense or decreased defense there from cruelty, but it is what it is there, and you're pretty close to almost 100% either way. And those extra turns that you would get from Merciless on Newt would definitely come in. Of course, RNG, so who knows how much of a big difference that would be. But there you go. 4 supports and 1 big damage dealer. You can definitely put out a bunch of points. So she's not built the craziest. Slap some gear on. She doesn't have a blessing. He doesn't have the relic. So hopefully that was entertaining there and a little helpful. And again, have a nice day.